Now, where did I put it? Here it is.
Welcome to the Toolbox, where my guests and I discuss the tools they use every day to manage life, trauma, and everything in between. It may not be applicable right now, but it's another tool for your toolbox. And I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of skeeters here.
No, I wasn't. I'm making a sound marker so I can sync the video and the audio. So when I see that big clap, I'm like, done.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to do an intro and then we'll fucking kick it off.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Tools for the Toolbox. I am Chance Burles, as you know, and I cannot wait to bring you another outstanding podcast here with my good friend who I met yesterday, or 2 days ago now?
2 days, yeah.
2 days. Oh, you just fucked it up.
Rob break. Yeah.
Just
Outstanding.
no,
I touch nothing.
you did it again.
I break everything I touch.
There we
Everything I
go.
touch.
Typical Druid. So, who are you? And what is your military background?
All right, well, my name is Wade, and my military background, I started at the ripe age of 17. I joined the British Columbia Dragoons as a primary reservist. I grew up in a small farming town of Lumbee in British Columbia in the interior. Not a lot going on for jobs, so I saw a poster that said, hey, you want to be an Army guy? Oh, that sounds like something cool. So I went into the recruiting office, and which was the RCD headquarters building. As an RCD guy, is the recruiter again. Hey, yeah, you can drive this thing. It's really cool. I'm like, all right, let's fire it up. So I signed up. When I was 16, I signed the dotted line. I had to go home, get my mom to sign the permission slip. Yeah. Hey, Mom, I'm joining the Army. She's like, cool. Signed away, and off you go. She's like, you're making your way. That's good. Okay. So, and then, she signed the dotted line, and off I went. I was sworn in just after my 17th birthday, so on January 17th, I was sworn into the year 2000.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. It seems so long ago, but just like yesterday.
Yeah. Well,
but
22 years ago.
Yeah.
And yesterday.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yep.
Damn it.
100%.
So, yeah, I did that for two years. I was a primary reservist. I graduated high school, hung around in Okanagan for a bit, couldn't really find steady employment. I was like an A-class bum.
Yeah.
A-class bum. It's on the pay sheet every day. I think it's A-class. I did do like one B-class contract where you're paid as a Reg Force dude for a little bit, but I'm like 19, 20 years old. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. So I kind of severed ties with the Okanagan. I was like, I'm going Reg Force. So me and my buddy that was in the RCD with me, or the BCD, and he's like, yeah, let's go join Reg Force. All right, let's go. So off I went and signed the papers. Went Reg Force. Of course, Armored was not my first choice for Reg Force. It was Naval Electronics Electrician, LCIS Technician, and then Armored because I was already an Armored crewman. I'm like, last shot.
Yeah.
I didn't know the ways of the Army back then. Like, oh, you're already Armored, you're going Armored. Like, sorry, other trades are closed.
Yeah.
So my buddy got
Too bad.
LCIS Tech because he was like a hacker, brilliant kid.
Right. And
then I went dumb Armored route, and away I went. And I was like, all right, cool. I love the RCD. Got posted to the RCD after Gagetown. Was there for 8.5, 9 years.
Yeah.
Then got posted to the school. Then went Airforce. I don't know how in depth you want to go with that whole story.
Well, I mean,
Pretty much
so you were in the RCDs for how long were you in the Reg Force RCDs? 8 years?
No, Reg Force RCD was 12 years.
12 years, okay. And did you go anywhere with them at any point in time?
No, they left me at home. No, I did 2 illustrious deployments to Afghanistan. I did Kabul in 05, so Roto 3, and did 6 months of awesome hanging out there. Just a great time.
Chilling at the pool.
Oh, yeah. Russian officers' mess was amazing. It was full of bullet holes and all sorts of stuff, but the pool was still there, full of dirt. We chilled by the pool a few times in an OP. So
got some cool photos, hanging out with guns.
Hanging out, doing OPs out of the Queen's Palace and stuff up there.
Yeah,
it was pretty nice. But then I came home after that, a longer than normal deployment because a plane crashed in Dubai on our way home, so we were stuck there for an extra month.
Roger.
And then we finally got home, and they're like, all right, cool, you're training the next roto going over. So we jumped on that, trained them up, and they're like, okay, you're going on the next roto over. So I went right back in 07, and I was on 107 with a lot of these boys.
Yeah. 107 was a rough one, too.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them were unpleasant, really. So, yeah, it's a tough one. But so you did 8 years for reserve, 12 years, right?
No, two as a reservist.
Where did
12.
I get 8 years in there somewhere?
Because you're an engineer, fail at math.
Fuck, yeah, that's probably it, yeah. Okay, so 2 and then 12. You did 14. So did you get out? You got out just recently then?
I got out, I OT'd in 2013 to go ASOP.
Yeah.
So I went to the Air Force side, and then 2019 I fully released.
How'd the transition go?
Painful. It was extremely painful.
Painful, like is in like Air Force painful?
No, it was Army painful.
Okay.
It's Air Force standards.
Yeah.
I got it from both ends really on that end. It was a lot of what I've agreed to now at this point. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy of the old back in the day. If you're injured, you say you're injured, you're out, right? You lost your job, so you shut up.
Yeah.
So I, sucked it up, held the pain. Had I said something years before, I'd probably still be serving. Like my body's fairly broken. I got pretty banged up on the last tour.
Yeah.
But Air Force life was like not hard on the body, but mentally, I wasn't at that capacity anymore. Like I just could not deal with the constant train wreck.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta leave. Like I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
So I went over to the mental health side of the house, and I was like, look, man, I'm done. Like I cannot deal with this any longer. I'm getting so much stress from my current job. The stuff I thought I'd buried and was dealt with, it's keeping me up at night. Like I'm flat and I'm thrashing. I'm like getting aggressive. I'm angry at everybody all the time for no reason.
Yeah. I'm
like, this is not cool. And so they're like, okay, well, let's start unwrapping this. So they brought me in right away, and they're like, okay, so what's currently bothering you today? And I was like, wow. And I went off on my stuff. And
everything.
Oh man, how much tape you got? Because it's a long time. So yeah, I gave that up, and I was like, all right, so this is what's going on, but this is what's keeping me up at night is not what's currently bothering me.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, tell us more about that. So I got into the 107 tour and what was keeping me up from that night. And they're like, oh yeah, we definitely diagnosed definitely PTSD. I was like, okay, cool. I kind of knew that, but you try to avoid that sticker as long as you can, right?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it took about 10 years for them to finally slap it on me. And I was like, at this point, it's a badge of honor because I think I fucking earned that stuff.
Yeah.
So it put me through hell, but it made me stronger in the end. And I'm at that point now where I'm climbing out of that hill, and now I'm outside of that trench, and I'm looking back going, damn, that was a dark-ass place.
Yeah.
And then you look over and see someone else in that hole, and you're like, hey, bud, need a hand?
What you up to?
What are you doing? How you doing down there? And if they be like, grr, grr, and then I'm ready to climb out, cool. Yeah. Just do holding pattern, hang out, and just
dig up.
every now and then, kick a rock on them. Like, you can use that to stand on, eh?
Yeah. Just
get out?
Little tap. Hey, buddy, what's going on?
I was there too.
Yeah. So if you could, like, you go back a few years now, you could go back to yourself and be like, dude, what would you say? Like, how would you make your transition a little bit easier?
What would I have done? I don't know. I don't think I would have listened to myself back then either.
Okay,
the blinders were on at that point.
How would you get yourself to listen? Like, what would it have taken for you to go, oh, fuck?
Time.
Time
was the only thing.
That's a good one.
There was nothing there at that moment in time.
Yeah. Patience sometimes is all you can do, right?
Yeah.
And just, you got to wait through it.
You got to trust the process, right?
Yeah.
Like, I did a program a few years ago out in Perth, Project Trauma Support, and they changed my outlook of thinking on life completely.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that opened up my eyes to there's a better way than where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And you just need to change your mentality and mindset. Here's the option. This is a path you could take, or you can keep going the same way you're going.
Yeah.
Which one's more appealing? And you're kind of like, yeah, this self-pity stuff's getting a little old.
Yep.
And then you look back and you see the destruction it's caused, right? So when you step off that path, and then you see it, and you're like, shit, now it's kind of remorseful, but it's for remorseful healing, right? I was like, I got a lot of atonement to make. Like, I apologize to people. Like, you don't need to apologize. That was then. This is now.
Yep.
You're doing you now. And I was like, it's true, but kind of was a dick, and I'm sorry. Like, I'm aware of it now.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, that's appreciated, but you don't need it.
Yeah. This is the best part about it is, like, to be able to sit and look back on it.
Yeah.
And go, fuck.
Oh yeah.
Right? And I mean that sometimes that can lead you down a rabbit hole. But getting to a point where you can look at it and go, that was dumb. But I'm glad I got it out of my system when I was like 30 or 20 or fucking whatever, right? It's like, okay. At least now I see it. Like, I don't want to do that again.
Right? Yeah. I'm kind of at that point of a midlife crisis, right? Just turned 40.
Yeah.
Life is going off the rails because it's crazy, it's busy, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But you got that looming cloud of the past crap hanging on. You're like, this is dragging me down, man. Like, there's so much potential of awesome forward. Why am I still hanging on to this? How do I shut it off?
Yeah.
How do you start carving that away to get rid of it? How do you cut it? When you don't have a knife strong enough to cut that rope right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's just time, patience, and just be observant to what's around you and pick up as many hints and tricks as you can. Right?
Yeah. What got you to The Pegasus jump.
I love the worldwide interwebs. Social media was the big one for me on that one. I live local here to it, so it just popped up on my feed of something you might be interested in is the drop zone here.
Yeah.
And the Pegasus thing came through, and I was like, well, that looks pretty cool. I wonder what it's about. And so I kind of clicked on it. Oh, there's a link. Oh, wow, it's for vets. It's local. Hey, this could be something I could be interested in. It's kind of the thing I'm looking for right now. So I looked at my wife, I'm like, hey, what do you think about me doing some skydiving? She's kind of like, cool. That's what you want to do. Give her. All right. So I wrote the email, and then I linked it to everybody I could think of, like, this path of healing. I've been doing a little bit of self-growth and research right on myself.
Yeah.
So this is at the point where I'm like, all right, now I'm going to throw this to anyone else I think can benefit to get to the point where I'm at. So even if you're not there, this option is here for when you're ready. So I just fired it off to, like, everybody I could think of in my veteran friends list. And I just bombarded them for like 3 days. I'm like, hey man, the deadline to sign up. The deadline to sign up is this day. Make sure you get the deadline. Hey, are you signing up? And they're like, oh my God, man. A couple of friends really intended to, but then life happened and they couldn't. And then a few buddies actually did that I knew. Like, I was like, all right, come on up. This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
And then I'm meeting a whole bunch of new friends, which is I think even better.
Well, how's it been so far then? We've been here for what? 2 days?
2 days, yeah.
2 or 3 days? I can't even remember anymore.
Feels like a lifetime already.
My brain is like, but like thoughts on it so far. What do you think?
Oh God, this has been the best thing. I've got a new addiction, and it's with a bunch of people that I would consider in my tribe.
Yeah.
Like these guys have the same mentality, the same mindset. They were at the same point in their life where, like, it didn't even matter the age group. It was just at this certain point of your life lesson. Yeah. You're at this point of figuring shit out. Like, these guys all got it, and they're like, the light bulb's turning on. We're getting it.
Yeah.
And it's great to, like, everyone's here to build each other up. There's no one here to tear you down for no reason. You got nothing to prove to anybody but the guy you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, everyone here has that same mentality. Like, there's no pokey chest of, I did this, and like, which a lot of guys fear when they go to vet things.
Yeah.
But stuff like this, it's meant for actually, like, actual healing. A lot of guys are like, I'm here for me, and if you're along for the ride too, that's cool, man. Like,
it's sweet, yeah.
I love it. And I'm cheering in your section, man. I hope you do great and get everything you want out of this. And it's been that way so far with everyone I've run into.
Yeah. I've been noticing, like, the moment I got here, no one was awkward. No, there's been a couple of people who were, like, a little hesitant.
People were shy and hesitant, but no awkwardness.
But there's no awkwardness. And the moment you held out your hand, you're like, hey, man, what's up? And they were like, hey, dude, what's going on?
How you doing?
Yeah,
what's going on?
And everyone would start chatting, and everyone's laughing. And it's been quite the environment because, like, not a lot of times can you get this many people directly involved in something in a stressful environment outside of their house, blah, 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 blah.
And be totally chill about it.
And everybody's chill. And there's dogs and cats and fucking whatever, right? Like, there's fucking kids running around and everyone's just having a blast. I have yet to see anybody, like, shoulder check.
Be grumpy.
Well, not even that, just, like, to be worried.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I could be chilling with my boys at, out wherever, but there's always, every so often, somebody is like,
yeah.
Right? There's that little, like, are we okay? I haven't seen a single one. Not one. In all the conversations, everywhere we've been standing, people are walking back and forth and laughing and talking, blah, blah, blah.
Even when my kids were here today watching me jump, they were running up to the fence line, and normally, I'm not a helicopter parent, but I'm like a very safety-oriented parent.
Yeah.
I'm just watching them go. I'm like, there's lots of people over there. Those people got my kids. I trust them. They're strangers to me.
Yeah.
But I trust them with my kids because they're my people.
Yeah.
I get it, right? And it's like, the kids going on. I still got visual on the kids. They're running on. They run to the trailer, grab their snacks, come running on back.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Growth and freedom.
Man, sometimes you got to get into a position where you can just let it all go. And, I was doing a chat earlier with the that crew of people, and they were like, I've never seen so many relaxed people jumping out of planes. And it's like, like, we're stressed, obviously, right?
I'm terrified every time the door opens, man.
Yeah, but not outside of that, right?
Yeah.
Like, just everyone's chill and cool and talking and just expressing themselves and actually, like, making connections and developing each set, right? And it's been such a cool experience.
Not a single discussion with anybody has it been my career was better because it's just, hey man, I did this. What did you do? Because I'm genuinely interested.
Yeah.
What was your path?
Yeah.
It's not I'm holding it above you because I was this trade or I did this and you were only that. It's like, cool, man. That's a really cool. You had a really wicked career. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like genuinely interesting. You're not trying to one up anyone.
Well, this is the way, and
this is the way.
It is. This is. I say it all the time. I saw it on The Mandalorian. I was like, "Fuck yes!"
Yes.
Like the greatest
It's in my
line
mind.
ever. So what does something like this mean? Especially like, so like you said, you have friends on this list. I have friends on this list, and I mean, every time
Yeah.
I do a veterans event, every time I've done a gathering of some sort, each one has a different little feel to it, different little vibe to it. There's lots of nervousness and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But like sitting through, watching others push themselves to a little bit and do something a little outside of their comfort zone, or something that they've absolutely been scared shitless of for their life. Like
Oh, yeah.
Toby and I went up, and he would the whole time.
Oh, yeah, he's
just, like,
terrified.
fucking terrified. Right?
Terrified.
And yet, he watched me fucking flap my wings trying to fucking catch up to the plane again, right? And then still got out on the fucking strut and still jumped.
Still.
And he'll probably do another one tomorrow.
Gut check, and he did it, right?
Yeah. It's been pretty cool. But what does something like this mean to you? What does like this gathering mean?
Right now, I see it as way forward, right?
Yeah.
Like it's for me. I feel the new addiction. Like I've got up to 5 jumps now. Tomorrow's my first pull my own
Play your own
shoot.
shoot.
Pull my own
Nice.
shoot tomorrow. Like, I mean, I could have done it tonight, but I was like, I think I'm tapped.
Ah, you're
No,
breaking
that's
shit
good.
again.
I'll come back. Here.
There you go. Okay, just don't touch the cord.
Try not to.
There we go. Dun dun dun.
I'm gonna touch it again.
Yeah.
But
Fucking Dragoon.
break everything
Gotta
I touch.
Gotta touch it. I gotta touch it.
Unlike Midas, everything I touch turns to shit. Yeah. But no, it was a great experience. Like I think I'm addicted to skydiving. Like I heard their stories of them coming in tonight on their final check ride for one of our instructors, and I was like, man, that's so cool to see. Like talking to this guy today, I had no idea he was checking out today. He was just cool, collected, did his job, did his thing. But as soon as they were allowed to do their thing and got rid of us monkeys, they're like, all right, now it's your turn, you're up. And they came back, and you could hear them from like 100 feet up, just hooting and hollering, having a great time. I'm like, I wonder what they did above that cloud cover, because that was amazing.
Yeah.
And I want to be in that. I want to try that.
Yeah.
I want to wait and see what it's like to fall from 10,000 feet now.
That'd be fucking
Let's see.
cool.
So
I think it would be a little different than like the feeling of letting go at. Well, you've done a couple higher now, right? Because we did what 3,500.
3,500 so far for every time.
Instead,
Your
okay.
practice are still 3,500, and then tomorrow's 4,000.
Okay.
So
Okay. Dun dun dun.
give me that little bit extra time in case I mess up.
Are you gonna do the strut, or are you just gonna like?
I think you still have to strut release.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have to still watch you go to make sure you do
Get the
everything
release and
properly
all that stuff. Yeah.
do it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
How what's your timing on the release? Like you're gonna let go, count what,
So
and then
it's-
pull.
the arch 1,000, reach 1,000, pull 1,000, arch 1,000, 2,000, check canopy, which
Okay.
was for today.
Yeah.
But tomorrow it's going to be added that extra 5,000 for the canopy release, because
Okay.
it's that arch, pull, and then you add that up to 5,000 for your canopy to actually open. So
Yeah.
you're free falling for good
5,
6 seconds.
Yeah.
So they say you got to trust that arch, otherwise you're going to be kind of looping. And
yeah.
so I'm glad I stopped kicking my legs today, because they're like, yeah, you're good to go now.
I
Stamp
think
of approval.
I think between the two of us on our first jumps, we probably could have caught that fucking plane.
Oh,
man.
easily.
Yeah.
Like Roadrunner, man. Would have been there. Like Popeye with his spinach.
So what do you think have been your biggest lesson so far from being here, being in this crew, being surrounded by all these fucking cool people, and having like, what's your biggest?
My biggest
Takeaway.
takeaway right now is to trust people again.
Oh,
That was my thing. I could not trust people for years.
yeah,
Like, and not for no fault of their own. They were probably totally trustworthy people, but I just had too many people fail me in the past. They're like,
yeah. I don't know. People aren't that trustworthy.
I'm like, no, I just don't give you the time of day. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. But ironically enough, around every vet that I've come across, there's that instant trust. I'm like, I know you got my back, even though I don't know you.
Yeah.
So coming here, and then I'm working intermixed with vets and civilians doing the packing. I was like, well, I trust these dudes who trust those people to pack the chute that they're falling from.
Yeah.
I trust them too.
Yep.
So it's that instant, like, all right, it's either I just don't do it, or I, do a gut check and be like, all right, I have to trust these people that they're not going to kill me today. All right, here here we go.
Whee!
And they haven't let me down yet.
Yeah, so far, I mean, you're still
I've-
walking. And
I've had 2 twists and a couple of other fun bits, but yeah, but nothing.
How was the twist?
It was
well,
fun. That was my last jump today. I had a twist in it on
Yeah.
my final perfect arch release. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And of course, her camera just missed it.
Of course.
So I didn't get to see it in the footage, but she's like, I watched you go, and it was beautiful. I was like,
Yeah.
thanks for not looking at me to see it.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah,
I love it, thank you.
Because I don't want to see that at
'Cause
all.
I don't want to see that at all as a memory
Yeah.
of like, that's when I peaked and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But no, it was, perfect release. Chute opened. I checked the canopy. I looked up, and it had like about 2 twists in it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's fun.
Yeah, that's not correct.
I started pulling, kick, and popped right out of it. Chute fully inflated. Riser came right down, locked into place, and I was good to go. So,
Good to go. Yeah.
yeah, it was no panic, no issue. I still looked down. I was like, wow, I'm still really high up. That was dealt with pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Strong winds today, so you kind of like stayed stationary the entire time until you turned to come in and land. So it was, every turn was, you turn a little bit, and it would force you hard.
Yeah.
So you had to do like a 180 and stay in place, but it was great today.
Yeah, it's been such a cool experience, and I mean, watching everybody else fucking like leap themselves out of planes and fucking getting yeeted out of a plane. It's such a cool fucking experience to watch everybody else do it, and I watch some of the landings, and some of them are clean, and some of them aren't, and like, I mean, fucking Jason looked like he shit himself on the way down.
Oh yeah. And I think the greatest thing about it is after everyone lands, no matter how shitty their landing was, they get up and they're like, okay, I know what I can do better next time.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
They're self-critiquing so hard already. Instead of just accepting for what it was, like, that was awesome. I walked away from it. Sure, I'll do better next time, or I'll try to. It's really some of the things you can't change.
Yeah.
Just accept it for what it was, and you walked away from it. It was amazing.
What do you think the biggest, what's been your biggest issue, like biggest challenge so far getting with the jumping itself?
I think the biggest thing is facing my own fear of just being able to let it go and trust. Because once you get on that wing, like, you have to trust completely. And up to that stage of everybody who worked to get you to that point. And then you got to trust yourself. Because when I pull tomorrow, it's it. I'm the only one doing it.
Yeah.
So they've held me so far. Now it's on me.
Yeah.
Fly, little birdie, fly. And it's all on me at this point. So that in itself and facing it is a terrifying reality. Like, I'm responsible for myself.
Yep.
And I'm responsible for a bunch of other people too, but I'm doing this crazy ass thing. I'm going to jump out of an airplane, and if by chance, knock on wood, something terrible happens, I'm not going home to my kids, so I got to think about them. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I trust these dudes. The statistics are, I think it's a pretty safe thing to do.
Yeah.
It's exhilarating. I feel like you're dancing with death for about that first 5 seconds until that chute opens.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thrill of excitement of you're doing that bit. But there's a safe, tranquil, peaceful ride on the way home, so you can get right zen with your head. So you're fighting those demons for 5-10 seconds, and you're fighting them.
Yeah.
And then you get that peaceful, and all is right. So that absolute little bit of total chaos for about 5 seconds, for about a minute and a half of total peace, that ratio, I can deal with that, and it gives me 10 seconds to kick the shit out of them demons again.
Yeah.
And take back that fight, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it's becoming for me now.
So before realizing that you love to fly with the birdies,
I like to be a bird.
Before you realize that, what kind of tools did you have? What kind of thing? What did you use the most to really manage?
All right, you want to see the transitional story of how it was like the really bad tools into the scrap that to the good tools?
It's almost like this podcast is called something like that. Perhaps even has the general feeling of that is what I want. And that's why I asked the question.
Oh, I thought I was the tool.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, yeah. But also...
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, but no. Yes, but no.
But yeah, what do you think?
Initially, I'm wrong enough as I lift one. This was as for many of us when we go back from tours, this was a prime substitute for feelings.
Yep. Why feel anything when you can just feel drunk?
Right?
Yeah.
Just push it back on top of the bottle. This weighs it down.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a lot of the beers and the heavy drinking, and then once I started realizing and wanting to maintain the relationship I was in, that needs to kind of cut itself out. So we're going to scale that back, and I need to find something else. But now I'm being faced with some demons. So how do I deal with them? It went from that to a lot of nothing and just bottling it up more and just trying to find a way to release it, but not knowing how.
Yeah.
So I tried boxing for a little bit, but due to the IEDs and whatnot. Shoulders are like, we're not playing this.
The semi-violent nature of the sport.
Yeah, no. And, when you got a lot of pent-up aggression, you're hitting harder than you probably should.
Yeah.
So you're already busted shoulders. You're going, please stop.
Yeah.
Like, you're just hurting yourself. Sure, you feel temporary relief because you're getting lost in the pain, but please stop.
Yeah.
So I, gave that up. And then, kept searching, and then I wanted to do a lot more. Once I started having kids, they became kind of my outlet.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, like, you guys are my reason for being now. Regardless of the crap I'm dragging, I'm dragging a heavy-ass bag, but I'm going to run with you as best I can. So I was burning myself out by not releasing a lot of crap.
Yeah.
So I still felt that I had a bunch of stuff I needed to deal with, and I was like, it's going to start spilling over out of that satchel into my kids.
Yeah.
I don't want that generational trauma. Like, I had enough of it for myself.
Yep.
Let's just stop it. So there was a lot of like, all right, what programs are out there? So when I was starting to do the medical release, they're like, there's not a lot for serving vets right now, but when you get out, I'm like, well, what good does that do?
Yeah.
You wait till we're totally messed before you try to fix us? Well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
So
welcome to the Army.
Right? And thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Right? Appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
But, thankfully that mentality is slightly changing a bit, I think, now. But at that time, there was nothing. There was nothing for serving dudes, so I had to wait till I got out.
Yeah.
And then once I got out, it was, like I said, Project Trauma Support in Perth was the first program I attended after my release. Like, I had my DWD party, all my buddies flew in, surprised the shit out of me, and they're like, yeah, dude. They kept walking to my house one after another. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, how many more fucking people are going to show up at my house, man?
Yeah.
Like, all these people came in from all over Canada to, like, celebrate my retirement out of the military, forcible retirement. You're too broken. You got to leave.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yes, I have decided to retire at this point in time.
I go disgracefully angry, but thank you. But yeah, so I left, and they it was amazing, man. These guys showed me like, you had an exemplary career. You did great things. Look at the amount of people here to support you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the light bulb kind of started to turn. I'm like, maybe I'm not the big bag I keep telling myself I am, because I'm dragging stuff with me. I'm like, okay, so these guys came from anywhere, everywhere, all over Canada. That means something. I'm gonna make it mean something.
Yeah.
I need to be better. So I owe it to these guys to be better.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to do this. So a buddy of mine that I was on tour with sent me the link to this Project Trauma Support. And he's like, all right, you need to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I just completed it, and I think it would actually help us. And I was like, all right, I trust you enough, man. Like, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was my crew commander from overseas that sent it to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, bud, I'm gonna do this. So I sign up for it, and you get a phone call from the lady who runs it. Right? Trauma is her specialty. She's like an MD, lots of acronyms.
Yeah.
Super smart, awesome, amazing lady. So she gives me a personal phone call like 2 days later. I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, I don't know these people. I normally don't answer numbers. I don't know who they're from. But I was like, all right. And she's like, hello, how are you? This peaceful, like, voice of an angel talking to you. And I was like, hello, funny lady. What's going on? And she's like, so you want to tell me some stories? And I was like, sure. So I elaborate a bit. And she's like, I think, yeah, you'd be a right fit for this cohort coming up. We got one coming up shortly. You're in, you're on, and how soon can you get to the airport? I was like, oh, okay. Like, so it's like when? In like 2-3 days. I'm gone for 6 days.
Nice.
So I was like, hey, honey, so gotta go, apparently. And she's like,
peace out.
Free mental health. See you later. Bye. Have a good time. I was like, all right, cool. Thanks for holding the fort. So off she goes. Or off I go, and land in Perth, do the program. I've been sworn to secrecy, can't tell you about it, but I recommend you go if you want to find out.
Raj.
So yeah, I come back.
Secret squirrel kind of shit.
It kind of is, yeah. And I literally came back a changed man.
Excellent.
Everybody on our cohort did, and to this day, there's I think maybe 2 that kind of. It really wasn't for them. It wasn't their jam, but there's still a large majority of them that we're on a group chat. We check in every day with each other. Hey man, how's it going? It's like a mini tribe, right, that we grew together as. So that started that prompt of, it's maybe a tribe I'm looking for.
Yeah.
These guys are strewn all over Canada too, right? This program is international or national.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Canada is not a little country.
No, man, I could do a story for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I need like a tribe mentality of, I just need to find my people who get me. And after I left the Army, went to the Airforce, I did not fit in, 12 and a half years in the Army world, hard Army, to air crew.
Well,
not just Air Force,
like
air crew.
Dragoon Army, so...
Hey, they're hard because they're under the softest things out there.
We gotta drive around in vehicles and, like...
Hey, man.
Hang out in places and drive some other, like...
But but I'll specify. I was promised to be qualified leopard. 12 and a half years wearing a Bambi. I was recce my whole career, so I was in a Coyote, so I was infantry with a car.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
in a way,
like half infantry with a
Half.
car.
well, that's what infantry with a car is. You drive to the location, you get out, you walk around a bit, you kick some stones, you get back and you drive home.
Yeah, but on that note, then
I didn't have to walk there and then walk all the way home. I wasn't Forrest Gump with no bike, right? I didn't have to run everywhere.
That's true. Yeah. Run, Dragoon, run! No, I don't want to.
No, my
Yeah.
kit carries me. I don't carry my kit.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, I mean, that's probably a smarter way to do it.
right?
what
Work
do you
smarter, not
think?
harder. If you're in
Yeah.
the combat arms, you gotta preserve some fatness.
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess.
when they gave us the E-Lab, we were all like,
Oh yeah.
"Sweet, we can drive around." And they're like, "Well, I mean,
Well, no.
kind of, but you have all this gear that you're not going to use that you can't detach, and yeah, have fun with that." We're like,
Yeah.
Can the blade do anything? And they're
No.
like, "No,
No.
you'll bust U-joints just doing it." I'm like,
Yeah, you'll blow the differentials. If you try to push anything.
"Sweet,
Let's put a winch on it that can't even hold its own weight.
yes."
That was a great idea.
That was a fantastic idea. The hydraulic the hydraulic chainsaw set on the top
Yeah.
for just no reason. Like, yeah, we have a whole hydraulic set that you can shoot off the top of our vehicle. Sounds like a plan.
more of a zombie apocalypse vehicle than anything, really. But
Yeah, but it wouldn't work. We'd hit like one zombie and the whole thing would fall over.
you can't push anything with it.
Yeah. Fucking- okay. Anyway, carry
Well,
on with
I
the story. Yeah.
So
We got into it there.
as it happens, you
Yeah.
share a love of these certain vehicles. They just-
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely amazing.
Oh man. Okay.
I totally forget where I was now.
We were talking about infantry with a car.
Shoot with the car.
Yeah,
the Dragoon.
and what were some of the tools you just finished project
Right.
trauma support and all that stuff?
Finished PTS. Came home looking for a tribe. I was like, all right, so I need that bond of people. Like
Yeah.
I'm missing that aspect of it because when I got released right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
All my buddies that were everywhere from all over Canada, they all flew home. COVID hits, and I was going through school at the time because I was on the voc rehab program.
Yep.
Of, let's train you to be functional in society, even though we know you're broken.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. I'll give it a best shot. So, what am I gonna need? Okay, so kind of looking around. What's always in need? Power. People always need power.
People need power. Yeah.
I want to produce my own power.
Mm.
Maybe they'll train me to be an electrician. So I go into the JPSU office, and I was like, so I'm not going to go and hand out basketballs while I'm waiting to get released at the gym. That's just not what I'm going to do.
Yep.
I'm going to go to school. And they're kind of like, oh, you are? I was like, yep. So I'd like an ILP written up and approved for the Electrician Foundation program in North Island College Camp, wherever. And they kind of cocked their head like, would you now? I'm like, yes. I'm not just going to sit here and waste my time.
Yeah.
I'm going to start stacking the cards in my favor because honestly, I don't trust you guys to look after me after this long.
Very smart. Yeah.
So no, I'm going to do something that I'm going to need later. And they're like, oh, well, we'll see what we can do. I'm like, you can see what you're going to do. And that's exactly it because I've already done the homework for you. It's approved through this. You can do it this way. I've already made the BPSO appointment. They're going to approve of the ILP. So basically you just sign off and say that you approve me doing this.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, wow, you're productive. I'm like, because I don't trust you.
Yeah.
What part of that you don't understand? I don't trust people to look after me. So they're like, oh, okay. So when does it start? I'm like, it starts in like 3 weeks. So in that 3 weeks, sure, I can work at the gym if you need me to or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I ended up working down as a groundskeeper down at the local campground right on Airforce Beach in Comox.
Okay.
I was like, this is amazing. I'm
Yeah.
driving all by myself on a lawnmower all day. Big lawn tractor, just cleaning up sites that are vacant. People have gone. I just go in, restock things up by myself, chop firewood when I need to. Totally on my own, doing my own thing, and being productive to the campground.
Yeah. So
I'm like a little background bee. Everyone leaves me alone. I'm just doing my thing, and I get to work in one of the best, beautiful views in all of the island. Of you overlook all these glacier mountains in the mainland. You're over the water. You see whales jumping. It's a wicked campground.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I like this. This is a peaceful thing. So that started like a part of the healing of the peace side of things. I'd ride my motorcycle down, kick there, have a coffee first thing, and the boss was so max relaxed, ex-MWO Navy.
Nice.
And he's just like so relaxed, runs the campground. He's like, you do you, man. I have a list of tasks. If you can pick some off that and choose them at your will, that'd be great.
Yep.
So the first one, he's like, yeah, we need the like little pavilion buildings painted down at the main campground. down on the beach. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I go down there with a bucket of paint and a roller. There's 4 posts and half a roof. Took me like 20 minutes, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for literally watching the paint dry, and I was watching the ocean, beautiful beach. There's hardly anyone there. It's like 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
This is really awesome. This is my job right now. I'm getting paid to do this because I snapped at work.
Yeah.
This is a better transition. I'm finding my peace because everyone is leaving me alone. I'm doing my own thing. So he comes down to check on me, and I've already got like maybe 3 or 4 coats of paint on this thing. Like, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Picnic tables are done that he didn't ask to, but they needed to be done, so they're getting done too. And he comes out and is like, what the hell? I'm like, sorry, did I do something wrong? He's like, no, I just wanted that done. I didn't expect any of this. Like, wow. It's like, well, it needed to be done, so it got done.
Yep.
And he's kind of like, okay. Well, at this rate, I have maybe 3 days worth of stuff for you to do, and you're here for a little longer than that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'll find stuff to do. Like, it's a campground. There's always maintenance. It can always be better.
Yeah.
You can always improve the hide.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, man. You have the keys to the palace. I'm not even going to bother you.
the RCD
Yeah.
setting up fucking bivouac procedure. Like, oh yeah, I got this.
You got the hibachi barbecue set up?
Yeah.
We're good? Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we make it. Any idiot can be uncomfortable in the field, right? Especially when you got lavish. Coffee pot shit first thing in the back. Right?
Yeah.
Like an actual carafe coffee pot. You had an AC inverter. For all you know. So yeah.
Which I think is hilarious that all of our labs have fucking teapots, just because the British have teapots,
Yeah.
and we're like, fucking yeah, fine,
We're part of that colony.
fucking teapots, yeah,
Let's put a teapot in.
yeah, good times.
So we modified.
Yeah. So after you did that, you went to school and you
Did school.
panted that out, or was it more like a slog?
No, I got the award for top candidate first year. You know, not to pat my own back, but
I fucking rocked
not that it
school.
was. Look, man, I'm like this 38-year-old dude going to college that's attached to a high school, and all these, like, it's a foundations electrician. So you got a bunch of grade 12 guys who are completing a grade 12 year as going into a Red Seal trade.
Yeah.
So I got all these really young dudes, and there was maybe 2 other guys that were around my age or a bit older. And they're doing career changes from, like, architectural design to electrician because they just wanted to change things up. Or,
Yeah.
You know, one guy was mandated by WCB. He had to do something different. That's what he chose. And then there's me, and they're coming like, so what's your story? And like, you're coming in, the instructor and I are walking down to the first day of meet and greet. And he's like, oh, I'm just getting out of the Army and being released out, so I had to find a trade that I think would be in demand and I would actually be able to feed my family if the system collapsed. And he kind of laughs like, oh, I was in the Army. What'd you do? I was like, oh, I was armored. He's like, me too. And we're like, oh yeah? He's like, but yeah, I was a Strathcona. And I just turn over and I like spit out of my hand. And he's like, oh, you were a Dragoon. I'm like, yeah, but it's like, oh. So that instant bond was there, right? And I was like, yeah, this is good.
Right away.
This is going to be a good class because day 1, I meet the instructor and he's an ex-Army dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be a piece of cake.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Super
good.
chill.
My nerves of going back as a grumpy old guy in school and all these young kids, I'm like, I'm going to be okay because I know he's got me now. So I'm like, we're good.
Yeah.
So I just tucked myself in the corner, did my work, and rocked all. I had him for actually 3 out of the 4 years that I went to school. And then the 4th year was during COVID, so it was at home on a computer.
Yeah.
I had a different instructor anyway, different learning style, and I was just like, I took as much as I could from it, but at the very end of that 4th year, you write the IP for your Red Seal, and I missed it by 3 points. So I was like, apparently I know enough, but not enough, right?
Yeah.
I know Army enough, but not electrician enough.
Yeah.
Because you need 70 in the
Okay.
on that one, right? And I was like 60, 68, 67.
It's a tough environment to step into, man. School is
It's
not
tough.
an easy thing to go from the
It's
Army
tough.
all of a sudden. I went to Olds College and for an equine science diploma.
Oh, nice.
And
Good choice.
what I thought it was going to be how to run a ranch. Like it was a business entrepreneurship and innovation equine science diploma. So I was like, how to start your own ranch. This is what I'm thinking, right? How to start your own ranch, what things you need to worry about, the finances of it all, that kind of
Right.
stuff, right? No. It was glorified riding lessons. And out of a class of 45, there were 2 dudes. I was one of them. Out of the 43 remaining people, actually out of the 44 remaining people, 4 of them were over 20. Yeah. And I was Master Corporal Burles, who had just finished being a fucking recruit instructor. Now, can you
I guess it
imagine
will.
how well that went?
Listen here.
and I had just gotten new hearing aids, and like I'm deaf as fuck, and I fucking. So the first day I sit down, and these fucking girls just say, "Shut the fuck up," and I'm like, "Oh my god, okay, I can't do this." I take my hearing aids out, and then I can't hear the teacher talk, so I put my hearing aids back in, and then all I can hear is fucking. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill somebody. It's day one, and I'm gonna snap some fucking necks. And they did the same thing. They were like, "Hey, everybody, let's stand up and talk about what we've done." And it's like, high school, like my daddy's ranch, my fucking blah blah blah, all these things, right? And I stand up, I'm like, "Yeah, I did 8 years in the Canadian Forces, fucking tour of Afghanistan. I was a combat engineer. I blew shit up. Yeah, I'm here to learn about horses." And it's like, oh god,
He's a scary man.
Don't talk to him. He's weird. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough environment to go from army life into school.
Yeah, and I had a slow transition. Like, it was hard army. Well, we covered that already. Hard army. Yeah. It was army into air crew lifestyle. So you're going like sleeping in the dirt to we still slept under the stars. We just only 4 at a time, right?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, room service is late sometimes.
Oh man, and Wi-Fi goes down. It was hard,
man.
Right?
That's hard living. I gotta
no longer
say.
dig in, you check in. It was.
Did they change your sheets every day or like twice a day?
Well, it depends. Like, we're trying to be water conservative, right? So maybe it's at least every 1 or 2 days.
Yeah,
we really need.
Yeah,
after a hard day of flying, you want to come home. Something soft and supple to snuggle you to sleep. It's tough.
Did you get any like massage or Cairo or any of that stuff while you were?
Oh, Cairo, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get back into it. The actual
healing part of it.
Tools for the toolbox here. Like, what was like? What was one of the things that really checked in the box that you did that you were like, okay, yeah, that was fucking. I needed to do that.
The big thing was I started journaling. Oh. I was getting my thoughts on paper and being able to visualize and see, because my thoughts were very fleeting, right? You know, that old PTSD bird goes. You're like, I'm on a really good track, and then you get sideswiped by a train. You're like, I'll catch that one later, I guess.
What the fuck just happened there?
And then you're, wake up from your rage after whatever just happened. You're like, okay, what was I thinking about? And you can't even remember. And you're like, God damn it. I should really write shit down. Yeah. So it's really started as a collective Google family calendar for me and my wife, because I could never remember anything. So I'm like, if it's not in the calendar, it ain't going to happen. Yeah. Literally, like, if you put brush teeth at 8:20, I have to regiment my life to, like, literally time appreciation days of every minute is accounted for, otherwise nothing gets done. Yeah. I will just sit there and stare off into space. And it's not like I'm on social media scrolling. I deleted most social media from off my phone. So I had to literally stare off into space and be like, I should be doing something right now, but I don't know what. Yep. What could I be doing? Well, I could be doing this. I could be doing that. By the time I make a decision, the day's done. I'm like, well, shit, nothing got done today. Yeah. So
it's time to go to bed.
Man, I got 3 kids at home. Life's crazy enough as it is. So if I'm not on top of things, I'm behind the 8 ball huge.
It's all
my wife's dealing with 4 kids.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to be a contributing member. Please help me. Write things down, and I will put a list, to-do list. Overwhelmed with life, to-do list. I recommend it. Write things down.
Break it down.
So I started doing that with my thoughts of things. I'm like, all right, my to-do list is getting done. I have a little bit of free time. What do I do with that free time? Well, I'm sitting here thinking about shit. Why don't I write down what I'm thinking about? So I talk to myself all the time. Well, I might as well make it a good conversation and put it on paper.
It's like 2 people are here all of a sudden.
So I started scribbling shit down. And and there's times where it's like in the middle of the night, I'll wake up at like 2, 3 to have a leak. And this thought will hit me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about something a little bit. I'm waking myself up with the process. I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. I need to go back to sleep. No, I should write that down. It's a pretty good idea. It's a good thought. Well, no, I'll remember it. I'll do it in the morning. So now I have this internal voice that it just screams at me. It's almost like a heavy metal. Like, no! And I was like, okay, I can't fight this thing. It will not. It's relentless. Yeah. And I was like, so I'll get up and I start scribing. And there's been times where I sat down it was 2:30 in the morning, and like 5 o'clock, my wife comes up. She's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I'm wide awake. I'm chipper. I'm happy. I'm just scribbling stuff down. I'm just getting my thoughts on paper. And it's not for anyone else. It's just for me, right? It's in my little journal. I set it aside, and I reread it every now and then, give myself reminders. I put like life reminders and stuff in it. It's kind of my go-to book. And I was like, this helps huge. Yeah. So anything like it started off. If I go back and read it, it's kind of like a transitional journey of there's a lot of dark things I need to get out, and I need to get these demons in paper. so that I can like just get rid of them. So I write them out, and they're there. They're now on paper. They're no longer in me. And then you can see the transition of it's this really dark, absolute. I hate everything and everyone, and now it's turning into a brightness of there's hope and life in the world. There's a better way. There's like I'm turning into this happy, jovial person where I used to mock all the time, like that fucking hippie, that guy. Fuck him for being happy.
Yeah.
And now I'm that guy. I'm like, you can be like this too. It's actually pretty awesome. Like it's really cool being happy. You take the highs with the highs, and you take the lows with the lows, and I've learned how to deal with those lows because I've had better highs that keep me floating in those lows now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's instead of the peaks and huge valleys, it's just like the little ripples now that aren't so bad.
Just ride the waves.
Ride the waves, and you ride. I'm like, this is pretty awesome. Like I have a few mantras that every now and when shits get really rough, I just gotta repeat to myself. I'm like, it'll pass. It's like anything else. It will pass.
Mm-hmm. Time
is your friend. It's also your enemy. But when you can make it work for you, make it work for you.
Yeah.
Just hang on.
Absolutely. I got the big one that I've been using lately, and I've been talking about it online all the time, is grace, not slack. That's you give yourself the grace to fail and learn.
Yeah.
But not the slack to quit.
Yep.
So you just, you give her, see what happens. And if you fuck it up, okay, cool. Try it again tomorrow. Or don't.
Yeah.
Move on to something else. Like, but the moment you go, oh, I can't fucking do this. Yeah. Can't you though? Can't you?
Right.
Like, okay, give yourself a day or two, right? Whatever. But it's been really helpful just to the fact of having the grace, giving yourself the time, being patient, and being good to yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And it's such a huge leap for a lot of us because we just want to fucking rip into us ourselves.
Sacrifice the body, right?
Yeah.
And you go head first, and a lot of us did. And too little, too late. I'm 40. You move like I'm 80.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing quite like I remember. Was it like the first day when we were all out in they were doing introductions and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They finished up and everyone started to get up and you could hear it was like,
and all the dad sounds. Oh god.
Oh my god. People are stretching. You can hear backs cracking. Like there you go. I was like, yep. A bunch of old broken people hanging out. Yeah,
and we're gonna jump out of an airplane.
And now we're gonna go leap out of an airplane. Yeah,
it sounds like a great idea.
I'm gonna go hang you in the gallows for a little while. Then we're gonna go.
You notice everyone's face. You got to sit on your knees, and when they climb, everyone's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. Do you have any idea what my knees feel like right now?
There's no way I can do that.
My fucking knees were hurting so much. As soon as the door opened, I was like, "Okay, good. I can straighten my leg out." And then I was like, "Wait a second. That's not the way I want to do it."
Maybe that's part of it. They designed it by design for that.
Oh yeah, maybe
make the plane as uncomfortable as possible, so you want to get out of it.
Yeah, no man, you got to go.
Sorry, man, this ain't comfortable.
Yeah,
you don't want to be in here.
That's
you notice how the pilot is the only guy with a comfortable chair, and you're on your knees.
Yeah,
by design. Get out.
No, that makes sense. Maybe they should just take the padding out, but then we'd probably leave early. Yeah. So the padding is just enough to keep you comfortable.
Enough to keep you comfortable enough
until you're high enough that you can't get out.
You're not
in
pain. You're uncomfortable. No one wants to be uncomfortable.
All right, brother. Well, we've been rolling for a little bit here now. I really appreciate you sitting down chatting with me. It has been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. It's so much fun when you get someone that knows how to talk.
I just burble sometimes.
It's the dragoon in you, right? You guys are used to just fucking.
It's the radio thing, right?
Listen
you have
to
to
your
be
fucking
brevity,
nets,
clarity,
man.
and just,
your guys' nets are brutal.
Yeah,
I gotta say.
I lost my mind.
Like the engineer nets are just like, bip it. Like that's it.
Well, you know what I think is a lot of it was it rolled down to the old cavalry mentality of the aristocrat type mentality of like, we're going to talk a little bit and make a good story of this. And old chap, what's going on over there? What do you say? Meanwhile, I'm on the recce net going, man, I'm a brigade asset. I don't belong to you. Please shut up. Yeah. I have stuff to get out. Short and sweet, brevity, done. Carry on.
Yeah. I think actually probably the worst are the strats.
Oh, God, yeah.
Those guys fucking never stop talking.
The worst.
Although, no way.
But they were the old cavalry. They still had horses, right?
I mean, technically they have horses, but they have horses. What are we actually going to do with those horses? Like, right? Like, we're going to go around. Yeah, show them off. That really is, that's
it's a recruiting tool.
Any final points? Any burning things in your mind that you want to get off your chest to the world?
Oh, God, man. No. because then I'll be banned. You'll be banned off the internet.
I doubt that will happen.
No, I got nothing, man.
Nothing.
Just trying to sound cool.
No, nothing.
I'm in a blissful place where I got nothing bad or anything to say.
I didn't say.
You do you, man.
I didn't say bad.
You do you. That's usually what it goes to. You got anything to say? I was like, normally I do, and I've got a lot to say. I'm not going to say because it causes a lot of hurt feelings. But good things, man. I think it's just at this point when you're trying to get to this point of healing, you do that reflection of you're no longer trying to correct anyone else. You accept the things you can't control, and you just do you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate people for being them. As long as you're doing no harm, you do you, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
You do you. That's a great line. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. This has been awesome. We'll get you later.
Damn right.
Chimo.
That concludes another episode of The Toolbox. I really appreciate y'all listening. It has been my absolute pleasure bringing you this guest. If you enjoyed what you heard, please like, share, subscribe, do all that other wicked stuff. It helps me keep the lights on. To all those out there putting it on the line every day, I just want to let you know that I appreciate you. Military, veterans, first responders, civil servants, you name it. Keep this place running, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you. Don't forget, stay open, stay humble, stay focused, with grace, not slack. Chimo.